What up, everybody, and welcome to an impromptu, brand new live episode of Dodgers Territory. It is the week of winter meetings. Stuff is happening, stuff I did not think would happen. That is Clint Pasillas. I am Alanna Rizzo. We're going to be with you guys for the next 15, 20 minutes talking all things sugar because Edwin Diaz apparently is coming to Los Angeles. Thanks for being here, you guys. Join us in the chat, rate us 5 stars, like, subscribe, all of the things. We just recently surpassed 13,000 subs, trying to get to 15,000. Like us on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Clint, let's get to it. The big ticket, Edwin Diaz is a Doyer.
Didn't see that coming, Riz.
At least that is the report. What are you thinking? What's the first thing you thought of? This has not been made official by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jeff Passan reporting that the closer's deal with LA is for 3 years, $69 million. Sources telling ESPN. The Dodgers, who were targeting bullpen help this winter, got the best closer on the market, setting a new AAV record for relievers. Relievers are starting to get pizzade, and Edwin Diaz is one of those. Your reaction?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked this morning. I decided to sleep in a little bit. Your boy went to bed later yesterday, and I wake up and I see the all-important, the almighty Jeff Passan reporting, and it wasn't a Jet Passan, it wasn't a fake Jeff Passan account, reporting the Dodgers are landing Edwin Diaz on a perfect deal for the Dodgers. We knew, the reports were Edwin Diaz looking for somewhere in that 5-year deal, that 5-year range, and $100 million. I was like, there's no way the Dodgers are going to that. However, you bring it down to 3 years, lower that commitment, crank up the money. And this is what the Dodgers have been trying to do with players for years. The big difference now, this is every bit, it's been a destination for years. It's been a destination for at least a decade. But Alanna, now this is the preeminent destination for baseball players to want to come here. So I love every bit of this. You get your closer. I'm shocked. I was absolutely shocked. What about you?
I did not think that they would do this. I think the reason that it came together is because A, Andrew Friedman's a genius. B, I think Edwin Diaz really wanted to come to Los Angeles and he was willing to lower the years. I'll take a higher AAV for 3 years than a lower AAV for 5. I'm absolutely in on this. I love this. There are deferrals, of course, because it is Los Angeles and that's the way that we're doing things right now. But I'm okay with that. Joel Sherman, who is the columnist for the New York Post, of course, he's also on MLB Network. Sources say deferrals on Diaz's deal with the Dodgers, $4.5 million annually for the 3 years for luxury tax purposes, will calculate at roughly $21.1 million. I don't care. The man's going to get his money. It's guaranteed money in baseball, which I like for the player. I don't care if you get it at the front end, the back end, Bonnie Bonilla end, whatever you do, I will take that. And how about that? I get my closer. I thought it was really important that the Dodgers didn't have that revolving door at the back end of the bullpen. And man, what was already a good bullpen, not a great bullpen, but if he can do what he did, Clint, before he got hurt and what he did last season, I'm in.
Yeah, obviously we know there's a reason he was a top closer on the market. It's because he is very good at his job. He has nasty stuff. He still strikes people out. Obviously, the people in the chat, very, very happy. I'm sure just as many people as shocked as we were this morning. But you're talking about the quality of that bullpen. This is coming off of, he didn't have a great season last year, did Tanner Scott, but still the expectation, he's going to rebound. He's going to be something closer to what we saw in his time with Miami, a little bit through San Diego as well. But you look at the way bullpen is stacking up right now, and some people might be upset I throw Ronan Kopp in there, but he is technically on the 40-man and a lefty reliever. But having Edwin Diaz at the top of that right-handed side of the ledger, Alanna, just does feel a lot better. But you have people that can get you saves. I think I would hope Diaz is going to be somebody that's more going to pick up the lion's share of save opportunities rather than need to be the de facto every single time closer. It's still going to be 98% of the time, but you have somebody in Tanner Scott who can go out there and hopefully close the game for you. Blake Trinan, Alex Vesia, Bruce Dark-Ratter all coming back. Ben Kasparius will be in that bullpen. Justin Wroblewski should be in that bullpen as well. It is a pretty dangerous mix of arms there, and I'll pump the brakes a little bit. because it was a little under a year ago. You and I were at spring training talking about that vaunted bullpen, how good that bullpen was going to be. It turned out that maybe sometimes it good, maybe sometimes it maybe shit. Ultimately, they end up going out there and winning. I think the biggest reason, and I'll let you digest all of that. I think the biggest reason the Dodgers felt the need to have to get this deal done is they don't want to have to force Yamamoto to go out there on less than 1 day's rest, after throwing
My
100
word.
pitches.
My
Yamamoto
word.
should never have to relieve a game in the postseason again, or at least for the next 3 World Series wins that the Dodgers have.
Yeah, I think that's what you said. When you see Yamamoto warming up in the 18th inning of that unbelievably long game, and then you have Yamamoto doing all that he did in Game 7, that's enough for me to say, man, we need a closer, right? Obviously, we didn't have Alex Vesia. Things would have been very different if Alex Vesia was able to be on the World Series roster. He was exactly where he needed to be. But he's back, and that's a good thing, right? Obviously, you hope that Tanner Scott can figure it out. Kirby Yates is likely done as far as LA for
Career,
sure.
yeah.
Maybe baseball, potentially. But this is a big deal. This is nice. I didn't want to sign Edwin Diaz for the long term, not a 5-year deal. I wasn't on board for over $100 million for a closer. But I'm on board for a 3-year, $69 million deal for him. Absolutely. Especially with Vesia back in there. Tanner Scott, hopefully with the rebound, Anthony Bonda taking a step forward. We'll probably see Evan Phillips on the roster in the second half of the season when that 60-day IL stuff is all figured out or whatever. I like this bullpen. I like this team. I have, and I think we just got a lot better.
Yeah, and the timeline of this whole thing is weird because I think everybody, I even saw our buddy Ken Rosenthal on with the Foul Boys, who are absolutely holding it down at the winter meetings there. So shout out to everybody, Scotty Braun, AJ Przinsky, Mark Wiener, Jeremy Meyer, all the guys that are bringing you guys some great content over with our friends at Foul Territory. But looking at the timeline of this, nobody saw this deal coming. Even Ken, the guy who knows all, did not see this deal coming. And this comes from of the many kind of Mets people and baseball people that are crashing out, as the kids say, from this signing. Looking at this timeline here, the Mets were kind of given or expecting an opportunity to get a rebuttal there. Their offer was as high as 3 years and $66 million, so not that far apart. But, according to with Anthony DiComo, Diaz did not care to try to work something out with the Mets. And, this guy here, Tyler Ward, saying, is it pretty much he just kind of got tired of being with the Mets, tired of losing. That's kind of the opinion he was putting together there. Build an exceptional product and the players will come. I think that's
Build
a situation.
it and they will come. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And I think the thing is too, it's like he was offered more from multiple reports, not only from Anthony DiComo, who does a tremendous job, but also Steve Gelbs, who covers the Mets for SNY, that said, the money was there. It wasn't a money issue. It was more of like, where am I going to have the best opportunity to win? Where am I going to have the best opportunity to succeed and get the ring that has been eluding the New York Mets for quite some time? And LA is a destination. We've discussed it several times, and you said it at the top of our show. Everybody wants to be in LA. Guys are willing to, again, the man's not broke, okay? I mean, the money was a little bit more in New York, but he's still getting absolutely paid in Los Angeles. But guys are willing to change up their deal, work with different types of language, be able to construct a deal differently to go to LA. And that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, this team is primed to at least get to a World Series again in 2026. If you want to win a baseball game, if you want to win a World Series, you want to win a ring, this is the place you want to go, top to bottom. And I'm sure it helps 1,000,000,000% that Edwin Diaz's brother, Alexis, pitched here last year, had nothing but great things to say about it. David Vassay had reported about it as well. I forgot to put the tweet in for the show here, but that is absolutely another one of the factors. I would imagine another one of the factors that plays in to Edwin coming here, and we'll find out more. Right. We'll find out more once he actually, meets with media and it becomes official. But as of now, it seems like it's as official as it can be. Of course, with passing on it, you're already seeing MLB, media talking about it, and they usually
Well,
don't touch
New
things.
York is already saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
people that cover the Mets have already basically confirmed it. The Dodgers have not, and that's fine. But the Mets are saying he's not coming back, and he's headed to LA.
Bye.
We're going to talk. Yeah, see ya. We're going to talk about what's next coming up. Don't forget, guys, the holidays are upon us. They are here. It is December 9th. Christmas is right around the corner. Hanukkah right around the corner. Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. Check out DodgersTerritoryShop.com. It is open. We appreciate your support. /promo/holiday. Use the code holiday at the checkout to save. You can scan that QR code or just go to DodgersTerritoryShop.com.
Buy
Clint,
some
what is
stuff.
next? What is next for this team now? I didn't think this is big. Like,
Yeah.
this is big. So what is left, if
What?
anything?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of changes everything for me because, less than 24 hours ago, we hear Dave Roberts saying there's no real big splash we feel we need to make. And then you wake up, at least on the East Coast or the West Coast here, you wake up to Edwin Diaz in a Dodger uniform. So I don't know. I think anything is on the table. There have been some kind of loose reports about Tarek Skubal and maybe the Dodgers having a strong
That is
interest.
not
I know it's not.
happening.
But hey, why not? Why not us? Why not
Yeah,
us? It's
no,
not our
listen.
money. It's not our
Listen.
prospects.
I get it. That's not happening. But I say all we really, I mean, again, tomorrow season opens. I'm good. I'm happy with this team. A bona fide center fielder, a good defensive center fielder that can hit a little bit, I think would be like the icing on this wonderfully delicious cake with all the sugar.
Or a versatile outfielder. You see Scott Boras out there trying to sell Cody Bellinger, doing his weird riddles at winter meetings, saying that everybody kind of seems to be in on Belly. Maybe there's a reunion there. Hell, maybe the Dodgers say F it and find a way to get a short-term high AAV deal with Bo Bichette to come play second base. Not that they necessarily need that, but then you kick Edmund out to the outfield. Dodgers are in the driver's seat now with this offseason. I think they could do pretty much anything they want. That the big question is, do they need to do anything else? Outfielder for sure. Hell, let's go bold. Go get Stephen Kwan and J Ram. I'm going to go back on that Jose Ramirez bandwagon or that trade, trying to make it happen. But I don't know. I'm suddenly excited about this offseason because I thought it was going to be drab, dreary, dull, boring, and now
I just didn't
I'm
think we
awake.
would get I was anticipating a sprinkle. We got a splash.
Yeah. This is a boulder. You went from dropping pebbles into the damn, into a lake to kicking off a whole damn boulder. Rosman saying you got to go ahead and celebrate with a glass of wine today, Alanna. I mean,
it doesn't. I don't need an Edwin Diaz.
Yeah,
let's be honest. I
she
don't
doesn't
need an
need a
Edwin
reason.
Diaz signing for that. But sure, I'm in. I'm totally in.
Let's see what else. Another Dodgers live from Diane saying we don't need anybody.
Diane,
Hey.
I just saw that in the chat though. I don't know. I'm not lying. We don't have to have anybody at this moment. Like Diane, put it in the chat. Good to see you as always, my friend. Who do you want? What's next for you then? I mean, we have a closer. What do you want, Diane? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, you need an outfielder. That's one of the things they have definitely said. I don't know if it's gonna be, or at least they have said they're going to need to figure out the outfield mix, whatever that means, and that's very much an open door interpretation that Andrew Friedman, Brandon Gomes can kind of work with. They like the guys they have internal, but we'd feel, including our friend Alex Call. If you guys missed that, check out the interview we had with him yesterday. But they like the guys they have internal. They would also very much like to add somebody else, but I would imagine, in terms of bullpen, this is probably it, right? Maybe Evan Phillips.
I mean,
back
you're assuming that at some point you're getting Phillips back. You're assuming that Bruce Dark Gratterall, Bazooka, is going to pitch at some point. Yeah. You get Alex back. Anthony Bond is going to take it to the next level. You got Edwin Diaz. I mean, I Tanner Scott. Our bullpen's fine. Our bullpen just got a whole heck of a lot better. I agree. We need an outfielder. We need a center fielder. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do if we don't sign him? Is my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great spot, great position once again, as we've said, as we've maintained now for a while. But I don't know. I don't know how much more we could add to this. Dodgers, obviously, they make. I don't know if you could argue the biggest splash of the winter so far. Another move. Kyle Schwarber returns to the Phillies.
The Phillies. I don't know. I
love
think
that.
the Toronto Blue Jays signing Cease is a pretty big deal. I think that's really good for the Blue Jays.
He came off a bad year.
Yeah, but that's okay. So did Devin Williams. We would have been fine with Devin Williams. Now he's the closer for the Mets. Not everyone's going to have a banner year every single year. I mean, Teoscar didn't have a great year. I would take Teoscar back. I mean, he may get moved, but I would take him back. I mean, listen, every year is not going to be lights out. Like, I would be fine. I would be fine with that. So the only other thing I can say is the Rocco Baldelli, we'll talk about it more on Thursday, is headed to the Los Angeles Dodgers as a special assistant to Andrew Friedman and that group. Good baseball man, good baseball mind. Obviously, he was the manager of the Twins, got relieved of his duties because the Twins are a mess. So he's coming to Los Angeles, and that's good. He's a local guy here. Good baseball dude. So
Has
Dodgers
ties.
just keep getting better.
Has ties with Andrew Friedman, of course, from years in Tampa. Yeah.
Absolutely. Clint and I are going to be back normal time unless something happens tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, but if not, we'll be back normal time, noon on Thursday.
No,
noon.
we might be later on Thursday, depending on how.
Later?
Maybe. I think so. Possibly.
Let me do something. Don't ever let me talk about our schedule for the rest of our existence. Okay? I am no longer speaking about our schedule because I'm always wrong.
Back. We will be back Thursday for sure. Katie Wu will be joining us from the winter meetings. Whether it is at 12 or at some point later in the afternoon, 12 o'clock Pacific time, or later in the afternoon, depending on how that day is going, the day's news. The best way to know, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow us on the social media at LAD Territory. We always post, except for right now, today. We always post when we're going to go live. But subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and we will be live.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys Thursday for sure, potentially tomorrow. Like Clint said, subscribe so you know. All right. Go Dodgers. We just got a lot better. Bye.
Bye.